Most parents think family court is a battle against the judges, against Kafkas, against social services, against solicitors. But the biggest thing damaging your case isn't any of those. It's the future you've already decided is going to happen. Because long before a judge makes a decision, your brain has already made one. And that decision quietly shapes everything you do next. There are 3 things about your brain that matter more in family court than most people realize. Number 1, your brain is a prediction machine. It isn't simply reacting to reality. It's constantly trying to predict what's coming next. Number 2, your identity isn't a fact. It's a forecast. The person you believe yourself to be determines the actions you are willing to take. Number 3, your brain doesn't experience time the way a clock does. It constantly uses memories of the past to stimulate the future, which means many people aren't responding to today's circumstances. They're responding to yesterday's pain. And nowhere is more obvious than family court. A father receives an unfair report, one false allegation, one disappointing hearing, and suddenly his brain starts creating a forecast. This is how the story ends. The nervous system then becomes a bouncer. Anything that supports the prediction gets allowed in. Anything that challenges it gets thrown out. A positive sign? Ignored. A helpful opportunity? Missed. Good advice? Dismissed. Because the brain says, that doesn't fit the story. The person stops seeing possibilities. They start seeing evidence that the future they've already predicted is already happening. And here's the dangerous part. Research shows that the brain uses many of the same networks when imagining the future as it does when remembering the past. Think about that. The future you're already imagining often isn't a prediction. It's a recycled memory. The brain isn't seeing tomorrow. It's remembering yesterday and projecting it forward. So if your last relationship was chaos, if your last hearing was awful, if you've been ignored before, if your brain quietly assumes most of the same and then behaves accordingly. Now, let me give you a simple story. Imagine a father standing at a fork in the road. Same hearing, same judge, same report, same circumstances. Nothing external changes, but there's 2 versions of him. In one timeline, he's operating from fear. He's already convinced he'll lose. Every email feels like a threat. Every setback feels like proof. Every delay feels personal. His behavior becomes reactive, emotional, defensive, predictable. In the other timeline, he adopts a different identity, not blind optimism, not delusion, just a different forecast. He says, I don't know what's going to happen yet. I'm going to prepare properly though. I'm going to act like my actions matter. I'm going to become the strongest parent I can be. Suddenly, he documents better, communicates better, presents better, makes better decisions, creates better evidence, handles conflict better. And because he's behaving differently entirely, new opportunities appear. Opportunities that literally didn't exist in the first timeline. Not because the universe changed, because he did. That's what people misunderstand. The biggest shift in family court isn't legal, it's psychological. The moment somebody stops identifying as victim of the process and starts identifying as an active participant in their child's future, everything changes. Not instantly, not magically, but dramatically. Because a different identity creates different behaviors. Different behaviors create different opportunities. Different opportunities create different outcomes. Now, if you're watching this right now, I want you to ask yourself one question. What future have you already decided is going to happen? Not what might happen, not what could happen. What have you already mentally accepted? Because that prediction is quietly steering your behavior every single day. And if you change the prediction, you change the parent. You change the parent, you change the actions. You change the actions, you change the possibilities. And that's where hope actually lives. Not wishful thinking, not in motivation, not in positive affirmations, in becoming the version of yourself your child needs you to be. If you're trapped in a cycle of fear, anger, frustration, or you've already convinced yourself that your case is over before it's even begun, I can help you break that pattern. Because family court isn't just about understanding the law, it's about understanding the person who walks into that courtroom. And if we can change that person, we can change everything that happens next. So get in touch and let's build a better future for you and your children